And I like that on your channel, you show different ways of doing the weighted push-up and you really emphasize it.
Yeah, it tends to be discounted and relegated as an inferior exercise because people that have experience, they can bust out 20 push-ups and they think that they're beyond the exercise. But for whatever reason, we overload other exercises. So that's what I've been trying to promote over the past few years, is just the major advantage of progressively overloaded weighted push-ups for aesthetics, general strength in horizontal pressing. So you're going to get those watermelon pecs, as as Alex has been saying recently. Great for anterior delts and triceps too, depending on your technique.
Yeah, and the serratus, which is very important because you can maneuver your scapula a bit better. Can you describe to the viewers your preferred setup of loading the weighted push-up?
I'm a massive fan of a dip bar, which you can adjust the height in a rack. So most gyms have those now where you can adjust the height. One plyo box for the feet, enough room for your hands and feet, and also the weight as you're going down. That's the quickest way to do it.
Okay. And how high does the plyo box need to be? Because I've tried doing that with a 12-inch and the weights will hit the floor when I try doing full range of motion.
Yeah, it needs to be, depending on your height, but probably around upper thigh to waist height, maybe a little bit more. And then having the weight quite close to you is going to be best. So if you have access to a kettlebell, it's going to be a bit easier than using, say, bigger weight plates. With the weighted push-up, you've got a few options. You can have a backpack around your back, or you can have a dip belt anchored around your mid-thoracic with the weight hanging where your chest is. So that's how you overload the movement.
Why weighted push-ups over weighted dips? What's the advantage that push-ups have over dips?
Depends on what you want to have carryover to. Dips, for the most part, superior to weighted push-ups. Safer to overload. You can overload it with heavier weights as well. And I always like to use the example of the dip is essentially the squat of the upper body.
Mm-hmm.
You look at what's happening at the different joints in your shoulders, elbows, very similar mechanically speaking to a squat in terms of that overall movement. I really like dips for that respect. I think they're a great mass and strength builder, and it has excellent transfer to overhead movements because you look at what the shoulder's doing, it's going through extension and also flexion. Not obviously overhead, but it has good transfer in that respect. With the push-up, I like to see this as more of a accessory movement, which is put towards the later part of your workout, because for anyone that's tried weighted push-ups, it's a bit more hazardous to overload. We know when we fatigue with push-ups, we tend to start arching. It can get a little bit sloppy. The weight can slop down towards your lumbar spine. With the dip, it's a little bit less likely to cheat or have incorrect form.
The form is more repeatable, I guess. And that's why that's what you see in the competitions. It's the easiest one to judge.
Yeah, and the push-up lends itself to more of a moderate rep range with those loading parameters and where it is placed in the workout.
Prisoner style workouts. Have you seen those on the internet where people are just doing really high reps?
The great thing about calisthenics, or just any training, if the goal is hypertrophy, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you've got to train with a high amount of volume, nothing extreme, but enough to stimulate and also grow. So I guess what I take away from those prisoner style workouts is they're achieving the same end result with a workout, just in a different manner. So they're doing hundreds of push-ups with their body weight, as opposed to adding weight to them and fatiguing in something that's more efficient, such as the standard 8 to 15 rep range.
Yeah.
Some people just love the masochistic simplicity. They just they love just going for it, getting a massive pump, and there's benefits to that, but there's also some self-belief that you have that no matter where you go, you can get a solid workout in. If you were to be traveling, you've got a hotel, doesn't have a gym, doesn't have a park near it, you can still get a hypertrophy growing workout literally with nothing. That is what is the blessing with calisthenics, and I think a lot of people found that with the situation we've been going through the last 2 years.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that they did tremendous amounts of push-ups at home, nothing fancy, And then when the gyms opened up again, they actually got a bench press PR. And they were shocked because they thought they were only going to maintain or even regress to a certain point.
That's right. And for the first time, they were probably focused a lot more on their technique, less distractions with just moving weight, as opposed to probably using a better tempo, better range of motion because they had to, and getting a better connection with the muscles they were working, possibly.
Guys doing weighted push-ups with a backpack on. And they loved it so much that even now, when they go to a gym, they'll bring that backpack and do that right after bench press. Or in some cases, replace the bench press completely.
Cheers for watching, people. Here's another Fitness FAQs video to help you get even smarter. Peace.